Welcome to the first episode of Vantage Voices. I'm here with Jesse Rhodes Jr., naturally. And Vantage Voices is one of the ways that we'll connect, that we are able to find people to connect you with. So, Jesse, I'm going to go into a few questions that we ask every Vantage member. Are you ready?
I am, but I gotta throw a curveball, Rachel. You okay with this potential curveball?
No.
Just the first episode. So I think the audience wants to hear from you first on what
Yeah,
it is. And so I took the literally to jot down at least 5 questions, maybe some follow-up questions. Are you okay with the pivot?
of course you did this.
I mean, I'm Jesse Rhodes Jr. I work with humans to create possibilities, not excuses. And you're creating possibilities for so many people. I appreciate, I adore you, especially you being a past general manager. And then you decided to join the board with me before it shut down. I'd be remiss not to get into your mind a little bit about why. And I think our audience would totally want to hear why. So you ready for this? Pivot?
Let's do it.
All right, my first question.
You have questions
I
pre-prepared and
wrote down.
everything?
I thought this through, Rachel. Come on. I didn't tell
Okay.
you, but I wrote them down. All right.
Okay.
And you can answer openly, off the cuff, unscripted. Just be raw. I may have some follow up questions, but let me hit the first one. And I'm asking these questions from the mindset of the listener. So, first one, elephant in the room. When did you know you weren't going to just let it end there?
When I was the GM at Columbia Tower Club for almost 2 years, I left in 2025 and took a little hiatus and then came back as a member. I watched it through COVID, and we tried everything. And it's a beautiful space, and the community is super special, and so even when I left, I couldn't get it out of my mind, like, what is the thing? Because it's not the space. Downtown is vacant 40%. I mean, all these percentages they throw at you, but there's gotta be something. And it's not just the building. So what do we do? And so, I mean, we worked through a couple different solutions, right? We're like, well, let's use this app and let's use this app. And we were sort of in the middle of developing something when we heard the news in April. Then it was time to go. I was like, oh, we have to accelerate this. So we were already sort of working on it.
It does. It sets the stage for again, another elephant in the room question. What is it, right? So I think about people hear network, they think mixers and business cards. But tell me what Vantage actually is simplistically.
Simplest level, it is one of the things that are most important to me, and I know to you and to other members who have joined as founding charter members, is that we give first. Is the public directory, and each page is optimized to be searched by ChatGPT, Gemini, Google AI, all of those things. So it is a true gift. If you do that to your own website, it takes a lot of hours and a lot of time, and it's a constant thing. And so with Vantage, we offer anybody who wants to list their business, nonprofit, their client's nonprofit, it's all free and it will always be free, because to me, there's nothing more important than starting with what can I do for you instead of what can you do for me? And
Mm.
then the second part is the, quote unquote networking part. Although I've always hated that word. I didn't come from that world. I only learned about it in private clubs, but it's kind of overdone, because if you've gone to the stale ones, you're like, ugh, it's a private black book. You get access to other members' advantage. So, and you can control how much they can connect with you, because that's the thing that makes at least me avoid that. How do I sift through messages? What's real? Who are my real people? And all those things. And there's so much more that you can do in there, but it's a community that's meant to be protected on purpose, because we are people that share the mindset of giving first and also giving to each other. And then the third part, which is really cool, but there are proactive introductions. So we promise in the first 90 days, you're introduced to 3 people that you didn't know. So there's several ways that we do that. But the first is the Vantage type assessment. But the whole point of it is that it's an intentional group of people surrounding around the same purpose.
I love that. And keep me honest, one of the ways I explain Vantage, I call it Vantage from the vantage point, even in your own network. Like for example, Rachel. I'm sure a lot of folks that you know don't know what you're up to right now until this moment. And a lot of times that happens with a lot of folks in our network where there's a commonality of work that we can be working together, right? So the vantage point is I get a chance to get beyond just the relationship part of our relationship. Love you, adore you as a human, which you also create, be on the board together, know you meet your general manager at the club, and also as a cheerleader as well. But now I can see your techie side is and what you're up to. And it's things I'm working on my projects that I can leverage your services. So I hear both the new introductions, which is valid and valuable, but also in some cases, new introductions in my own existing network of folks
Mhm.
that I didn't realize I could partner with you in these spaces. Is that correct? Correlation? Am I explaining it right?
Exactly right. It's sometimes you're so close that you don't see the opportunity in front of you and you just think, okay, I have to find the person. But the likelihood that you have somebody in your network or somebody that you should recommend. And what Vantage enables you to do is to let all of those opportunities sort of rise to the top.
It's beautiful. So now my next area of question I think about, who is this for? So maybe paint me the perfect member. Not a title, but a person. What does that look like? So that way people listening can kind of see, is this for them?
I think a person who does things. Right? So, somebody who's creating, somebody who's building, somebody who operates. If you do something, you're giving first, right? And so that's sort of the first filter because if you're just I mean, we've all unfortunately seen that person who just sort of shows up and maybe they complain, maybe they just observe, but we need people who are going to interact,
Yeah.
and who are going to give to the community. I know you know it, but if you come from a place of giving first, you will always receive more. Right?
Yeah.
And so that culture has been broken in a lot of spaces that I've been in for a long time. But I don't think there's a specific industry or even area. I mean, we hope Vantage goes to every city near you soon, but
Yeah. I'll come back to that question too. I have a similar question to that one. But before we go there, I think about other platforms that out there that exist today. It's more what I'll call your resume,
Mhm.
right? Describing your work level, detail, what's publicly facing, right? That the person curate themselves or has someone help create that narrative. I see dances differently. So what I mean by that is what it look like? What does someone like a member look like that is not on the resume that Vantage helps make visible to your existing network and to your point potential new connections, expand your network.
at its very core, we're just looking for evidence that you show up for people when there's nothing in it for you. Right?
Yeah.
Like Vantage could be deal flow in another pipeline, but people can sense
Right.
that from a mile away, and so we're looking for people who give first, like I said a little earlier, it's because that's what's gonna make this work, and that's how we're gonna protect it. We have very specific guidelines and things. It's more of the soft skills we're looking for, not so much on the resume.
I like that. And to your point, you mentioned protecting because like one thing I think is important for an ecosystem that you're building is that right protection and handling it responsibly, right? So who is this not for? So if you're listening and you fall in this category, this is not for you. Who is that? Who is this not for?
I heard a story. I don't remember who I heard this story from, but I heard the story one time, and there was a group of like 75 people are all networking. He went around with a pad, and a pen, and he went up to every person and asked their name and their phone number and their email, every single person. So first of all, I was like, "Well, man, where was that guy when I had my team?" It was like that is a different level of thoroughness. It's so that we can create connection and we can make introductions, and those introductions can result in social friends. I mean, the way I think about it too is I'm new to Seattle. I mean, I guess not anymore. 3 years going on 4, but I'm a mom and I have a 5-year-old
Mhm.
daughter, right? Luna.
I
And
love
so
her.
I would
Yes.
love to meet other moms or other dads that have a daughter or a son that we can hang out with, and who knows what could come from that, right? But it's the whole idea is what are the
So powerful.
opportunities that rise up that don't just serve a financial purpose or a business purpose? Because that's the missing social piece that makes it all stickier anyway.
Rachel, you gave me chills just on that part because you're right. There's communities that are not always visible. I had a powerful call yesterday and have the opportunity to work with men that are raising children. And a lot of
Mm,
times it's not looked upon, right? It's just look at
absolutely.
and then add another layer on top of it, single men raising children that are kids dealing with special needs and abilities, whole
Mhm,
nother character groups. Put my hat in and say, how can I be a support and champion that space and be an advocate? But that was not visible to me. And then that could have been an opportunity community I'm not supported. That doesn't
mhm.
always come up in the men's circle conversations, right? So you just hit the core there of you're right, of the opportunities of seeing spaces that are not always visible. That's communities that are out crying for support and this fellowship. So I can see you too, and thank you for sharing that. So I cheated. I said 5 questions. Got do I have permission to ask 3 more?
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
But I want to get into the philosophy. Like this is different, you know. You came up inside clubs, these clubs, few of them, you know, Seattle, Philly, California, right? Or San Jose, right?
Yeah.
What did they teach you? You know, that you kept, and how you're applying it in what you're built today? What's the philosophy?
Well, I think so. I've been in restaurants and hospitality since I was 17. I started as a hostess and it was primarily restaurants and hotels until it was 8 or 9 years ago when I joined Invited Clubs, formerly Club Corp, was that I understood that you can always do better and that hospitality is a discipline. Like the system that makes hospitality work. Like certainly I also have a servant heart. I think servant-hearted people naturally are always better at hospitality than others. There is an expectation of how you meet and serve the people that are in your space.
Yeah,
And it's not a vibe. Like you can have the best lighting and the best menu and the best chef and all of that. It's a discipline. It's this plus this equals this. It's intentionality. And so I how you treat the people that you're with and who you're doing things with matters. You know, I mean, was able to turn around some really difficult situations, and
I know.
especially as an empath, right? I'm like, I'm just absorbing all of this, and I mean, to be completely honest with you, it negatively affected my relationship with my husband, and certainly wasn't as present as I could have been.
Mm,
It's important to retain the fact that how you treat the people around you is what is another giving first thing. I'm going to treat you, you treat me nice. This my husband always says this. You treat me nice, I'll treat you better. Right?
mhm.
And so that's not a soft rule here. It's a standard. And it's one that will definitely start at the forefront. It is at the forefront of what we're building here.
Yeah, I love that because clearly, Rachel, since 17 years old, you said clearly
Mhm.
you could open up a club to compete with the current clubs and dominate the market. We know that. You know that. Let's be real. And everyone knows you know that too. That's why we love and adore you. But you didn't do it. So to your point, I think I got some of it. Make it like, what was your why? Was it what's the why? I don't want being an empath. I'm an empath too. I can feel your energy, but I don't want folks watching may not have the same gift that you and I both have. What's the why? Like, why did you decide not to go and keep doing what you normally do and build competing businesses and draw out the public, but consistently rise above the walls of the club and elevate? What's your why?
Well, first of all, I'm highly unemployable. So I have a very entrepreneurial spirit. I like to do things, I like to do the right thing. And sometimes you can't always do that in every environment. Right? And I'm not saying I'm perfect in any way, but, you know, to have a really clear vision and then have to worry about the politics of things, sometimes it's just it can feel a little stifling. And then my second reason is my family.
Yeah.
When I was working in private clubs, it's nothing about the private club, it's just that I did not have the time that I have gotten since not working in corporate since October. I would never trade that back in a million years.
Right.
Because I was able to find out, figure out, and see what is really important. Being able to see my daughter grow up, like, my success is not the most important thing. Like, Vantage will be successful because the people I'm doing it with, because, you know, XYZ other reasons, but that shouldn't come before my family, right? And it was in a lot of ways. I was a little blinded. And why also creating community is so important, especially in this digital age. And so when people see Vantage, they're like, why do I want to join another app platform? Why do I want to be on an app? And it's like, okay, that's why I don't even go into the tech so much anymore because it's not about the tech, it's about the people. It's always been about the people, but this helps us get a little closer and a little more intentional.
Love it. I mean, I'll say publicly for the audience to know too. I literally love and adore Rachel, how her mind works and what she creates. I don't know if I ever tell you to that level, and I'm grateful for our partnership and our friendship and family. I feel we've been family over the years. We had a little bumps and bruises, and she keeps me straight, rightfully so. That's what family
Yeah.
do, right? I love what you are as a human, and right, and so there's gratitude fully, and I wanna put that on the record that lives in the legacy of the impact you have on so many people. So keep being authentically you. I saw one of our other founding members, Roger, the other day. We gave a long hug. I hugged him for like 3 minutes because I haven't seen him in 3 months. We
Mhm.
took it for granted by coming in common spaces that we'll see each other and we'll have those
Mhm.
updates. He was trying to spend an hour to play catch up, and it was too much. And so I'm grateful for what you're creating, that I don't have to have these moments when you relocate, life happens, things move, you change, and you lose the very community you built so much time with that was just there in that moment of life. You are helping us keep it vibrant is where I have seen no platform ever accomplish. So my last question, big one. I want for folks to say, okay, you got me. You enrolled me. I'm going to click the button and register. Got it. So someone joins tomorrow. What actually happens to them?
So many things. The first thing that happens is you take your Vantage type assessment, right? It's 2 to 7 minutes. If you have an attention span like me, maybe you come back to it, but it doesn't take that long. And I find it to be fun. I love a personality test. I think most people do. And it tells us how you connect, not what
And
you
that's
do.
free too, right? That's free, right?
That's free. Oh, yeah, that's free. So you can list your business, you can list your friend's business, you can list your client's business. If you're consulting and you have a client, you're like, "Hey, I listed your business," right? And they're like, "Whoa, wow." So we can give until we're blue in the face. And I think that's so awesome. It can't find out who you are at your core, but it finds out how you communicate. That's free. And you get the results and immediately, and then it sends you a report. Then what happens is the really exciting thing that's evolved in the last month or so is you can pick your home base club if you would like, right? So a physical location, but we're working on several more. And that can provide a place for you to meet. And there's so many things that happen after that because onboarding and how you get onboarded into a community are so, and I saw firsthand what happens when that doesn't happen. I'm excited to be on this journey with every person that joins. I'm like, it's so exciting because, like, we're really building this together. It's not me, it's Jesse and your network that we didn't even think of. It's Katrina's network, it's Rogers, it's Eric's, right? It's all of us together building this, and it feels so special.
All right, I'm done asking questions. As I promised, I appreciate you sharing the insights in your mind. I know that was impromptu. Thank you for working with me on this. And I just thought our future members need to hear it, hear you, the voice behind this amazing product.